Buns are a bakery bestseller, and it's no wonder. They're made of rolled leavened dough and filled with a sticky sweet filling. I'll start by showing you a classic cinnamon sticky bun. A sticky bun is all about those different components, the dough, the goo, and of course, the filling that spiraled into the dough. Then, I'll advance the technique and share my recipe for Chelsea Loaf. This is a British version of a sticky bun. After that, you'll be ready to take on the challenge of banana walnut sticky buns topped with a white chocolate frosting. Now, this is definitely on the dessert side of sticky buns. And for that little something extra, how about sticky bun French toast made with leftover sticky buns? But let's start with a classic cinnamon sticky bun so we can get a handle on the basics. Now, it starts with a soft dough. And part of what makes a soft yeast dough is actually the dairy component. In this case, I've got 1.25 cups of 2% milk, and I've heated it to just above body temperature. I'll add that to the mixer, along with 1/4 cup of melted butter. While I've got my liquids, I'll add the yeast. I use instant yeast, 2¼ teaspoons. I'll add a single egg, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and I need 3½ cups of all-purpose flour. And the last ingredient for the dough is 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'll use the hook attachment, making the dough nice and stretchy. You know when you can see the dough climb the hook? That's when you know it's properly kneaded. It is an easy to manage dough. It's so soft and silky. I like to shape it into a nice ball before I let it rise. Take a big bowl and I just give it a light coating of oil. And then what's important is that you cover the bowl completely with plastic wrap to protect the dough so it doesn't dry out on top. Now what you want to do is put this in a warm place, and it takes 90 minutes to 2 hours for it to double in size before it's ready to roll and fill with the sticky filling. Now for the next step in the process, the goo, the sticky layer that bakes underneath the sticky buns. So in a saucepan, melt 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. Oh, they are decadent. Add to that 1 cup of light brown sugar, and in addition to that, 1/2 cup of maple syrup. Because it's sugar in its liquid state, it helps keep the gooey filling just that, gooey. I want to cook this until it comes up to a full simmer. You see it bubbling? I have my pan ready, which is a 9x13 pan, lightly greased. I'll pour that into the pan. It's a nice thick layer. And just to get my filling ready, I use brown sugar again, 2/3 cup, and a full tablespoon of cinnamon. And now it's time to get rolling. I have a batch of the yeast dough that has risen for the 90 minutes, and it has actually doubled in size. And turn the dough out, little sprinkle on top, and roll this out into a rectangle. It rolls out so easily. There we go. I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter that I'll brush on top of the dough, and then sprinkle on the cinnamon brown sugar. And now, from one long end, roll it up. You don't have to pull or stretch the dough, but you do want to keep it pretty tight as you're rolling it. And I want to cut these into 12 sticky buns. And I'll arrange it in the pan. And as you can see, there's space around each of the sticky buns, because of course they're going to rise up as they bake in the oven. Now, what do you do if you want to serve freshly baked sticky buns for breakfast, but you don't want to get up at 4 in the morning to start the process? Make them, roll them, fill them, put them in the pan, and pop them in the fridge overnight. When you want to bake them fresh in the morning, take them right from the fridge into a cold oven. Set the thermometer to 350. By the time the oven preheats, the sticky buns will have proofed up and start baking and take the exact same time to bake. So these need to go through that second rise, and that takes about an hour. So what I do is I set them aside, and this time just cover them loosely with a tea towel. I have a pan full of sticky buns that have risen for an hour, so you can see they've puffed up a little bit more, but wait until they hit the oven. It takes 45 minutes at 350. The hardest part is waiting. Oh, smell that cinnamon. Look at these. Oh, they turn a beautiful, even golden brown. And that's basically how you tell they're done. So just to make sure they're going to tip out easily, I run a palette knife around the outside. And now, to turn them out, I'll just take a cutting board and look at all that goo. It's hard to resist. And of course, the best part is peeling away layer by layer to reveal that beautiful, soft cinnamon dough filling. Oh, I can't resist a good sticky bun. But the fun doesn't stop here. We're going to take these principles and advance a level, and I'll show you how to make Chelsea loaf. That's the British-inspired version of a sticky bun.